Hi, I'm Adley from Boston. Please like and subscribe because my story animated will give $1,000 to one lucky person in the next coming 7 days. My mom got pregnant many years ago after she married my dad, and they were both overjoyed to have a daughter. After my birth, they were waiting anxiously for me when the nurse walked in, looking nervous. I'm not sure if you want to see her.
Oh my God. Is she ugly? I'm going to have a heart attack if she's ugly.
I think she's a dwarf. Mom leapt forward and took me from the nurse, and Dad stared at me in horror. I was really tiny and ugly, like a frog.
I'll have you fired, you moron. I don't care what my daughter looks like. She's mine, and she's beautiful. So what if she's a bit small?
But as years went by and my progress was monitored by doctors, I was diagnosed with slower growth than most people, which meant I'd always look younger than I actually am. Mom didn't care, as long as I was healthy, but Dad couldn't handle it.
How is it even possible? Everyone in my family is practically a basketball player. Be honest with me, woman. Is she even mine?
Mom started screaming and throwing things at him, and he went running out of the door, and that's the last I ever saw of him. Once, when I was 6, Mom took me to a birthday party at her boss's house. I was really excited to meet other kids, but the minute they saw me, they all started staring and then laughing. OMG, just look at it. It's so tiny. With that, the birthday girl Brenda took my hairband off. Hey, give it back, you jerk. Catch it if you can, shorty. Come on, jump a little higher. Suddenly, I lost it. I climbed onto a chair and pounced on her, and we went crashing into the pile of birthday presents, which landed straight in the pool. As Brenda screamed, Mom's boss came running and went ballistic. Who is this out-of-control toddler? Where did she come from? That's my daughter, Adley. But you said your daughter was 6 years old. I don't know who this child is. I'm calling the police. Her boss just picked me up and started carrying me away. Oh my God, she's mine. But her crazy boss wouldn't let us go till the cops arrived. Of course, Mom was able to prove I was her kid, but she was so furious. She flung a piece of cake at her boss's face. I'm not working for you, psycho. I quit. Even though Mom was struggling to find a new job, she soon enrolled me in the best school around. On the first day, I was about to go inside the building when a giant limo almost bumped into me. Hey, are you blind? You could have hurt me. A girl got down from the car, and it was that awful Brenda. Ow! Shut up! You're hurting my ears! It's not our fault you're as tiny as an ant. Who can even see you? She spat on my shoes and walked off. And when I went to my classroom, I discovered she was in my class. Ugh! And all the kids were flocking around her like she was the queen of the school. Over the years, Brenda never failed to mock me. But it wasn't just her. It felt as if I walked into school every day wearing some ridiculous costume because someone was sure to point and laugh. Where's your lower half, shorty, buried in the ground? Which dwarf are you, sleepy, mopey, or grumpy? I was so sick of it all. So, in the 7th grade, I decided to do something about it. I Googled how to increase your height, and there were so many tips. One of them was hanging. I didn't have a pull-up bar, so I decided to stretch from a tree branch. But just as I stepped on it, it snapped under my weight, and I fell to the ground, hurting my leg. Oh, Adley, what are you doing? I just want to grow tall, Mom. Everyone else just keeps getting taller. What's wrong with me? Honey, there's nothing wrong with you. So what if you're not as tall as everyone else? It doesn't make you less smart or kind or beautiful. I waited so long to have you, Adley, and I wouldn't change a thing. You're perfect. Mom's words really stuck with me. It was okay to not be like everyone else. A few days later, when I was heading out for home, I suddenly saw the school bus leaving without me. I ran and waved and shouted, but it just went faster. The driver probably couldn't even see me. Just then, I tripped over something and fell face first into a muddy puddle. As I got up, I saw some kids on the side staring at me, and I snapped. What? What are you looking at? Didn't your parents ever tell you it's rude to stare? Is it so weird that I'm short, or do I have something on my face? To make things even worse, Brenda walked out just then. and she started cackling when she saw me.
Ew, are you covered in poop, Adley? Because something sure stinks.
I think it's your mouth, you awful witch. I attacked her, and she screamed. She managed to push me off and jumped onto a bench, but I bit her leg really hard. We were both sent to the principal's office, and our moms were called in. They were not happy to see each other. But worse, the principal said I would be expelled. What? You're going to expel my daughter? Well, ma'am, biting other students is unacceptable. And bullying is acceptable? Because my daughter's been getting bullied under your nose every day, and you've done nothing. I know why you're punishing Adley. It's because that woman is much richer than I am, isn't it? You wait and see. I'm going to sue you. Mom wasn't kidding. She did sue the school for not protecting kids from bullying, and the school board actually settled. They fired the principal, suspended Brenda for a month, and we got $100,000 as compensation. I had the best month of my life in school without Brenda. And then Mom and I took a fantastic trip to Europe over summer break. A few days before school was about to start, I came home from the library one evening and found a boy sleeping on my bed. Thief! There's a thief in my room! The boy suddenly jumped up, and I saw he was very tall and really cute. Just then, Mom came running and told me he was her friend's son, Andrew, from France. He'd be staying with us for a few months because he was here as an exchange student in my school. But why is he sleeping in my bed?
I guess I got the wrong room. Take a chill pill, tiny loser.
I hated him already. And for good reason. Andrew was so annoying. He left his giant shoes everywhere that I kept tripping over. He put all my snacks in the highest kitchen cupboard. And the worst, he hogged the TV remote all evening. One day, Mom had gone out, and it was just the two of us at home. We decided to order food, and he took over everything.
Yes, hello, McDonald's. I'd like one cheeseburger, extra large fries, and Coke. And for my little friend, one Happy Meal. It comes with a toy, right?
I stared at him furiously as he just hung up. And then he switched on the sports channel. Hey, no, we're not watching football again. It's my turn. I want to watch my show.
Oh, that's not happening, dwarf girl.
I wasn't having it this time. I ran to the TV screen and hugged it, blocking his view. He kept yelling at me, and then suddenly leapt off the sofa and just picked me up. I kicked and screamed, but he just dropped me in my room and locked me in. Oh my God. How was I gonna stand him at home and at school? On the first day of 8th grade, I walked in with newfound confidence in my European wardrobe. Of course, Brenda gave me death glares all morning, but the rest gave me plenty of compliments. As I sat down in the cafeteria later, some kid who looked like a 5th grader joined me at my table and put a red rose next to me. What are you doing?
Oh, it's my first day here, and I'm already in love with you. You're so beautiful. I'm a little older than you, but that doesn't bother you, right? I'm marrying you as soon as I graduate high school.
What? This idiot thought I was younger than him? Just then, I spotted Brenda and her minions howling with laughter. OMG, this is epic. You guys look so cute together. You'll surely be the hottest new couple in school. But suddenly, Andrew pushed the kid aside and sat really close to me, kissing me on the cheek.
Hey, babe, I was looking everywhere for you. Oh, you got some mustard on your nose.
What are you doing?
Helping you just play along.
And well, I had to admit, the boy was a genius. I turned to look at Brenda, and her jaw was practically on the floor. What the? I mean, how do you two know each other? Oh, we met in Paris during summer break.
She had me at hello. Who wouldn't love this cute little cream puff?
Brenda stormed off angrily, and I immediately pushed Andrew away. Barf! But we decided to stick to this plan for a while, and my popularity was rising fast. I was the girlfriend of the hottest new jock in school. Suddenly, I was invited to all the cool parties. I had front row seats at all of Andrew's games. And when his team won the final football match, he picked me up and ran all over the stadium with me on his shoulders. Gosh, he was such a nut. But I was actually having a really good time with him. Sometimes I even felt butterflies. On Valentine's Day, Andrew put a heart-shaped chocolate box next to me on the table at breakfast. No one can see us here, so what's with the chocolates?
They're just chocolates. Eat them, or whatever.
They're heart-shaped chocolates on Valentine's Day. Is that supposed to mean anything?
Do you want it to mean something?
No, of course not. Yuck.
Yeah, exactly. Forget it. I'll give them to someone else.
He picked up my box and stormed off. What a jerk. And why did I have these weird feelings for Andrew? He was so annoying. The next day when I went to school, Brenda was standing by my locker with a huge grin. I just knew it was too good to be true. What are you talking about? You and Andrew. I just didn't get it. This makes more sense. And with that, Brenda turned her phone to me and showed me a picture of a blonde girl with her arms around Andrew. And I felt a pang of jealousy. I just turned and started walking away. Aw, is your itty-bitty heart broken? He was obviously playing around with you. Everyone could see it. Why would someone like him want to be with a dwarf like you? You look like his kid. Maybe I'll ask him out. I'm prettier than this blonde girl. Do you really think calling me a dwarf hurts me now, Brenda? I've been hearing that stuff since the day I met you. I may not have grown much in inches since then, but I've certainly outgrown you. You don't bother me anymore, and I like myself just as I am. Go ahead, ask Andrew out, but trust me, he's gonna turn you down because he knows what a small, petty, mean mommy's princess looks like. Suddenly, Brenda snarled and attacked me. As I was trying to push her off, I was pulled away by Andrew, and standing next to Brenda was the new principal. You were given a strict warning last time, and I saw you attack this girl for no reason with my very own eyes. You're expelled, Brenda. And with that, he angrily marched her away. That witch had it coming.
Adley, are you okay? What are you two fighting about?
Oh, just get lost. Go back to your dumb girlfriend.
What dumb girlfriend? I don't have one, but I'm trying to get one.
Yeah, go on then. Who's stopping you?
You idiot. I want you to be my girlfriend. I like you.
I stared at him in shock and then smiled. Oh, yeah, well, who wouldn't want a cute little cream puff like me? Andrew grinned, and I stepped onto a stool and pulled him in for a kiss.
Hi there, I'm Rachel, and boy do I have a story for you. My algebra teacher, Mrs. Fritz, read my text messages out loud to the entire class, and she absolutely ruined my life. The thing is, these texts were not your typical day-to-day messages between a mother and daughter, or girl talk among friends about the cutest guy in school. I'm talking relationship-ending, secretive, and juicy stuff I hoped no one would ever find out about, especially my best friend Anna. It all started one day in the 4th period. I was sitting at my desk when I remembered that I'd forgotten to silence my phone. We're supposed to keep them in our lockers, but naturally no one ever does. I had never been caught before, so I was certain I could check it without being seen. I just wanted to sneak a glance and make sure it wouldn't go off. I discreetly pulled it from my pocket and checked the sidebar. Just as I suspected, the silent mode wasn't activated. I switched it on silent and casually slipped it back in my pocket. Crisis averted, right? Wrong. Mrs. Fritz, who up until this point had always been my favorite teacher, saw me messing with it. She came over to my desk and asked me to give her the phone. I should have run out of the classroom right then and there. Trust me, it wouldn't have been nearly as embarrassing as what followed. But I didn't. I handed her the phone, and then my life was over. See, what you should probably know is I've always had a crush on my best friend's boyfriend, Corey, until I found out he was cheating on her. I thought he was the perfect guy, so handsome and sweet. He treated Anna like a queen, and I had always been so jealous of their relationship. I mean, they were honestly the perfect couple. Everyone envied them. Homecoming king and queen, head cheerleader and quarterback of the football team type of stuff. They were that perfect. everyone thought they'd be together forever, including me. That all changed, though, when I walked in on him after gym class one day in the girls' locker room and saw him making out with someone else. I ran out of there like crazy, trying to forget what I'd seen, but the image was forever imprinted in my mind. Corey caught up with me and made me promise not to tell Anna. Something I'll always regret, but followed through with anyway. He fed me a bunch of lines about how stressed he'd been lately and how he and Anna just couldn't seem to make enough time for each other. I know it sounds crazy, but I actually sort of believed him. He was so convincing. I kind of felt sorry for him until a few days later when he came on to me. He cornered me at my locker and thanked me for my discretion, then kissed me so fast I barely had time to breathe. I guess he figured that since I had already caught him cheating and promised not to tell my best friend, then maybe I'd be okay with a little something on the side. Of course I shoved him away and told him to leave me alone, now more determined than ever to tell Anna what a scumbag he was. And yet, I never could muster up the courage. I mean, she would hate me. Best friends aren't supposed to keep secrets from each other, especially secrets like these. I was really hoping she'd find out on her own, catch him in the act sort of thing. Then I wouldn't have to be the bearer of bad news. Anna and I hung out dozens of times after all of this, and I never said a word. My guilt was eating me alive, but I couldn't tell her. Whenever I saw her and Corey together, I literally wanted to puke, but I had to keep the ruse. There was no turning back now. I had come to be pretty good at hiding the truth. Well, that was before Mrs. Fritz snatched my phone and ruined everything. "Let's see what couldn't wait," she announced to the entire class after taking my phone, and then clicked on the last message I received, which was from Corey. My classmates heard everything, and I really do mean everything, including Anna, who was sitting right behind me. I didn't dare turn around. She found out about my feelings, how disgustingly perfect I always thought they were, how much I used to like Corey, what happened in the locker room, and how I promised not to tell. And the kiss. I was mortified. While she was reading the message, Mrs. Fritz herself looked shocked, probably wondering how I could do such a thing. I looked at Anna, and her face was red. She seemed angry, and like she was about to cry. I will never forget the look she gave me in that moment. She must have felt extremely betrayed. I couldn't take it anymore. I ran up to our teacher and tried to grab my phone out of her hand, pleading with her to stop, but she kept on reading. How could a teacher be so cruel? I mean, didn't she understand that every word was just adding to my humiliation? The boys in the class were laughing at me. The girls were whispering in between gasps. She gave me back my phone the moment Anna left her seat and stormed out of the classroom. The damage was already done. My big secret was out. I knew in my heart that there was no way I would ever recover from this. As you can imagine, my little fourth period incident was the talk of the school. It didn't blow over quickly like I hoped it would. It only intensified. Anna refused to speak to me, and Corey was on to the next girl in no time, almost as if Anna had never existed. My other friends couldn't trust me either, and I ate my lunch alone in an art room. It was a terrible way to spend the last few months of our senior year, but what could I do? Nobody wanted to be around me. But what really mattered to me was Anna. I tried for weeks to get her to hear me out, but she wanted nothing to do with me. My best friend since kindergarten was giving me the silent treatment, and it hurt more than you could possibly know. How could I have betrayed her like that? Why did I make that stupid promise to Corey? I kept telling myself that I was only trying to spare her the pain, but it never made me feel better. No matter how I tried to spin it, I was in the wrong. She must have really believed that I had had a thing going on with her boyfriend. After what seemed like years of begging her to listen to me, Anna finally ended her silence and agreed to meet me after school. It took a lot of convincing to get her to meet me, but it was nice to be able to talk to my best friend again. I broke the ice by admitting how sorry I was and told her everything about the exchange with Corey in the locker room. Amazingly, the mystery girl he kissed was never revealed in the text messages everyone had heard. And I was hoping that by giving Anna her name, I'd get back in her good books. For the moment, it seemed to work. I told her it was Martha, an older student who was notorious for breaking up relationships. Anna absolutely despised Martha, having had plenty of run-ins with the voluptuous beauty before. They can have each other, she told me. And I was so happy to see that my best friend was coming to her senses. She didn't need Corey and would be much better off without him. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Besides, graduation was coming up, and pretty soon he'd just be a bad memory. I could tell things were starting to shift between us, and that my best friend was back.